Coming to you live from deep within an icy, but possibly also windy, and sometimes sunny, radioactive meme land. We are the survivors of the alt-right apocalypse. The few, the brave, the bitchy, once more wading into battle against the froggy hordes with Rantzerker, number 20... No, wait. 80. 84.
83.
Something.
83, 80 something.
80 something. Who the fuck cares? Nobody keeps track of
Some
the
people,
numbers.
And you realize now we're going to have like a couple dozen comments about...
Oh yeah, way to start the stream, guys.
Yeah, I do keep track. Way to trigger my spurg. Way to trigger my Asperger's.
All right, you need help. Okay, whoever you are, just go get some help.
The tism.
Okay.
If you're paying that much attention to us, yeah, you got problems.
Well,
You got issues.
and then we'll also get the ones that say the only thing you do is do ridiculous, silly streams where you respond to feminists. Yeah, that's the only thing we do.
Well, it's not the only thing, but it's the funnest thing we do, so...
Yeah, so let's get in. So this one is on the Sydney University protests of the red pill in Sydney.
Oh, by the way, before we start, Allison?
Yes.
In Sydney, Australia. I just want to thank you for these headphones. They're very nice. My oldest thanks you as well, because after the puppy ate his headphones, his earbuds, he had to borrow mine for one evening, and they were here, and so he could borrow them. So he says thank you,
excellent. So for everyone listening, I did indeed get Karen some earphones. As you were giving us the monies, giving us the shekels, I was arranging to send earphones to Karen. So hopefully there'll be less echo this
It's already
stream.
a 9,001% improvement.
Yeah, well, and they're very comfortable too, unlike most earbuds. So
They're comfy buds. All right.
yeah.
So if you are listening to this after the live show and you want to hear the full stream, go to www.honeybadgerradio.com for our unabridged podcasts, or look up to the right of this video. There is a link to go directly to the unabridged version on YouTube. Okay, so just so you guys know, we're a couple days, 3 days. The fundraiser is a little hinky. Sometimes it's 3 days, but it actually means more like 4. We're 4 days from the end of the first part of our fundraiser, in which we will assess how much shekels we have and whether or not we're going to attempt to get Brian to Australia. And just to correct what Brian said on Monday with Jeff Holiday, if we don't get the money, we cannot go to Anaheim, California to attend VidCon. So it's not absolutely assured that we will go to Anaheim, California, to attend VidCon, and Karen won't be going.
Yeah, no, there's absolutely no frickin' way. And I have actually another planned event in Calgary on the 24th of June, so I won't be able to go. And I would have said no anyway, because it's too long away with a new puppy in the house and all these kids and shit. So
first we're going to just see how we do with this, getting Hannah to Australia. And if we manage to finish off our fundraiser, the current stage of our fundraiser, we will be doing a meetup in Sydney, and Karen will be meeting up in Sydney with us.
Yes, I will actually be spending some time in Sydney prior to the conference. I'll be going about a week early, leaving on the 1st, because I have a TV appearance on Sky News program, The Outsiders, I believe it's called, on Sunday morning of the 4th, and then I will be speaking at the Sydney Institute on the 7th, around 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the evening. So I get to write 2 speeches for this trip on totally different topics, which is going to be fun. That's going to be a scramble. And Bettina Arndt, who is a sex therapist in Australia who's very actively involved in men's issues, and I believe she's going to be the keynote speaker at the conference, has been trying to arrange for more appearances and events and stuff like that. And she's been very, very kind to offer to let me and my guy, who will be coming with us with his tax return money, allow us to stay with her in her place. So, if you want to see Karen on the 5th for a meetup on the 5th of June, you do have to go to our fundraiser, www.feedthebadger.com, and throw some shekels in the hat. $2, $5, $10,
About $3.50.
$25,
Whatever. Everything helps.
$5,000.
And you will also be seeing me and Hannah.
I don't even know.
Not that anyone gives a shit, but
I don't even know what accent I was just doing. It was some weird amalgam of pidgin and something else.
it works.
I thought you were
works.
doing like a Chinese dry cleaner owner, like you buy now, you go, things like that. You pay $5.
I love the $5 you go. I love the what was it? My guy and I, we had to dry clean his suit. We needed it done like within 24 hours, and so we go to 59-minute or 60-minute cleaners, and they're like, that'll be it'll be ready on Wednesday, and this is like Saturday or something like that, and we're like 59-minute cleaners, right? And then they were called 59-minute cleaners. So then we went to another place. It was run also by new immigrants from India or Pakistan or something like that, and so we go to 60-minute cleaners, and they were able to do it the next day, but we were kind of joking, you need it? Who do you think we are? 59-minute cleaners, right? Who could do it in 4 days, right? So it was.
Okay, all right. Amusing anecdotes aside.
False advertising is what I'm saying. $5, you get out. You go.
Amusing anecdote aside, if you want to see Karen on the 5th in Sydney, on the meetup that we've planned with Men's Rights Sydney, then please go to the fundraiser, www.feedthebadger.com. And Karen I'm going to pester Karen to put out a shill on her channel with more details.
Yeah. I got to put out an update video in the next couple of days, so I will do that.
And God forbid that, some feminist people possibly watching Karen's channel find out where we're going. Oh, goodness.
They're going to be so triggered.
We are going to announce the location of where we're going. So
yes,
on the Monday, the June 5th, the Monday. And you want to see it happen? Again, www.feedthebadger.com/ you know what? I'm not gonna give you the slash because I don't even fucking know it. All right. So finally, this stream will be gamified. That means after the first hour, we keep going as long as there is a super chat featured. As soon as there is no super chat featured, the air horn will sound and we will disappear like the morning dew.
Oh, you learned your lesson from that last one I was on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
where you're like, for every $1, I'll add a minute. Right, and then it was like It was like we owe you guys 14 hours now. I guess that's not really good.
Well, but we could call this the 59-minute Rantzerker.
The 59-minute Rantzerker. Yes, that sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's begin.
All right.
The clock is ticking. Let's get our work done.
You guys should both be about 12 minutes 19 seconds in. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. We have edited out the beginning of this, which was mostly chanting.
Shame.
Oh God.
Just chants. It was just because they want to prove how non-jingoistic and nuanced they are.
Is it racist, sexist,
anti-queer? Yeah. We don't want you bigots here or something.
Yeah. That's not totally.
They changed it up.
Bigots are not welcome here.
They changed it up though. It's now anti-queer instead of anti-gay. I guess they're just
then they were like
times.
Good night, alt-right, and
Okay, alt-right. Just throwing that around all the time. Okay,
I know. Cassie's totally alt-right.
Yeah, she totally is. I just heard her the other day. She was humming. All right, I'm gonna hit play now.
Okay. Okay, pause. This is what they chant. Okay, dogs. Oh my God. This is what they chant when the police actually step in and try to calm things down, right? And maybe separate the two groups to prevent physical altercations is they start yelling cops on campus and that essentially cops don't belong here, get lost cops, right? Stop keeping people safe, stop keeping riots from breaking out and people from actually assaulting each other. Go away, cops. You're oppressing us. So, yeah.
This is what a cult sounds like.
This is getting repetitive.
How long does this go on for before they start talking?
Only a few more minutes, but I'm already bored.
Yeah.
Well, they switched it up from cops on campus to cops off campus.
Did they? Oh,
Yeah.
That's a twist.
I know.
Huh.
Wait, did they originally want cops removed from campus, and then they changed their mind because of the MRA?
No, it was like there are cops on campus and that's a bad thing or something like that, and then they changed it up to cops off campus, as in get off the campus or something, I think.
Yeah, actually there was a sort of amusing incident in the first 13 minutes. I think there was like a guy who's had feminism is something. I think it might have been feminism is cancer, and he was like twerking in the middle of this crowd, and I was like,
yeah. Like he was accosted by them, and instead of like backing down, he just went Nick Redding style right into the middle of the crowd, showed off his T-shirt, and started like doing this kind of dance thing, and just
I'm
like
pretty sure
Nick walked down in his Men's Rights Edmonton sandwich board all the way down into the protesters at that rally in Toronto. He was standing right in the middle of them, and just trolling them.
Yeah, it was he just walked into that crowd, and from what I can see, that was at least an attempt at twerking. So he's wearing a Feminism is Cancer T-shirt and twerking in the middle of a bunch of feminists. I'm surprised he didn't lay them low.
Oh, I was just I wish I could find that footage of Nick Redding in the middle of the feminist protesters in Toronto at that rally that was featured in the Red Pill, because he was saying stuff like, because he was running for office, he was running for city council at the time, and let people know, and was handing out patriarchy party pamphlets. And someone asked him, what do you think of the tax thing? Do you believe in a flat tax? And he said, fat tax? Oh yeah, we could tax some of these women here. And then he's like, no, flat tax. And he goes, flat tax? Yeah, we could tax some of these women here too, right? And
Savage.
I mean, it just like, oh my god! And it was so instant. It was like just bam. And I wish I could find that footage again, because it was fucking hilarious. Just how he's like standing in the middle of this crowd of people with bullhorns.
The savage
who are protesting with his Men's Rights Edmonton sandwich board and his patriarchy party pamphlets.
Sounds like he needed air horns.
Yeah.
So is the twerking guy going to be in this video, or is that not in this video?
I don't know. Well, it was in the first 13 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Of this one, but
yeah. So I'm looking for him, but yeah.
No, it's okay. We'll just go ahead. I'm just going to call him Based Twerking Man.
Okay, just trust me on this one.
Is that like another Melissa click?
And I just want to point out to people that these people are protesting, actually watching it. Like, they want to get the entire movie pulled and not allow anybody to see it.
And they haven't seen it either.
And they haven't seen it either.
Right.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Kate Sullivan and I'm one of the career women's officers at the University of Sydney.
I heard women on Spurgs?
which is one of the women's officers.
Oh, I was... Okay, sorry.
Women on Spurgs, that sounds like a porn subgenre.
The thing about the screening is some people try to say paint it like a feminist thing. or that it's done from a feminist perspective. Now, about feminism
okay, she says some people are saying that it was done from a feminist perspective. Cassie was a feminist. She was a very strong feminist when she started making this movie.
Yep.
So it's not some people were saying. The actual director and producer of the... Oh my god, dogs! Oh my god. All right, go on.
Okay. Also, if you need evidence of what Cassie's views were before she made the movie, look at the other movies she made. They're definitely more on the feminist side of things. So.
Yeah. Oh, is like I guess Karen is dealing with her bitch.
Yeah.
Just
I'm dealing with my bitches.
Your bitches, your harem bitches.
Because the young one is tormenting the old one right now. So.
Okay. All right. Well, this did start from a feminist perspective. Thank you for giving me the words, Brian. This is why I pay you.
I'm good for something.
I'm not going to respond to that.
Don't.
You. Okay. All right. Where was I? It did start from a feminist perspective, just because her feminism, she started to question her feminist perspective or feminist position. Doesn't mean it didn't come from a feminist position. I guess that's what is really threatening to them. The idea of looking at something that started from a feminist position and then moved into something somewhere different. Went somewhere different.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it interesting
she
how
basically
that's
started
threatening?
to question and challenge herself. This is basically it.
Yeah. So essentially what they're saying is we don't want to show anyone the process of challenging feminism from a feminist position.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right, just saying that.
Moving on?
Indeed.
Feminism isn't an identity, it's an action.
She said feminism is not an identity, it's an action.
And what is that action?
What does that even mean?
Well,
what
actually,
does that even fucking mean?
Can I say something? I think actually,
yes.
It's actually kind of interesting because that was one of the things that we've talked about when it comes to men's advocacy. It's not a title or a label that we don't want to treat it as though it's a label that you wear. It's something that you either define by what somebody does or it's not. It's a verb, right? I'm a men's rights advocate. Why? Because I advocate. I talk about it. I'm an activist, men's rights activist. Why? Because I'm out there doing things. Feminist doesn't describe an action, really, which is funny because that's how she's describing it. It's just an attitude. It's just an ideology. It's just, I believe this, and I believe these things, and this word puts it out there.
All right, fair enough.
So, nobody wants to say anything else? No? Okay.
No, I think
you said it.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
have some confidence in your words.
Jeez, Brian.
All right, I'm fine. Okay, we're gonna hit the button.
And if your actions target women's bathrooms with your very expensive stickers, mind you, they spend a lot of money on the promotion of this film.
Okay,
Stickers aren't expensive.
This really fucking annoys me, though. Okay, when what's her name, Catherine Wynne, the lesbian feminist premier of Ontario, frees up $80 fucking million over 4 years for a PSA campaign for domestic violence against women. Okay? And she's complaining about the expensive stickers we used to promote this event and how the 50 cents they could have saved by just jotting something down in Sharpie on a piece of scrap paper and sticking it on the walls instead, right? That could have gone to men's domestic violence shelters or prostate cancer research or whatever, right? Like, we don't have the right to promote our events in the best way possible, in the most effective way possible, because we should be spending that money, right, on that tiny little fraction of what they get as a matter of course, right? We should be spending every penny of it on, like, I don't know, fucking, all of us should be, I don't know, I should be inviting freaking homeless men to sleep on my couch, and, you know, and we should all be Earl Silverman, essentially, running domestic violence shelters out of our own fucking pockets.
And then killing, sorry.
Yeah.
That was, is that too soon? Sorry.
No, it's not too soon for
I mean, for
Earl.
fuck's sake, that is not a sustainable business model.
No, and the idea that, like, you know, someone like Anita Sarkeesian can charge $5,000 to $20,000 depending on who she's, you know, how far she's going, and you know what the event is, to go and speak somewhere, right? And yet she's gonna bitch us out over, you know, $25 worth of fucking stickers, which is probably what it was.
Yeah, stickers are not very expensive, but if we get the funds on feedthebadger.com to actually host the Sydney meetup, I will make sure that we have some lovely stickers.
Yeah, make sure they say...
Get the puffy ones. Remember the puffy ones from, like...
Make sure there's a note on the stickers indicating that they're very, very expensive.
Yeah, these are incredibly expensive stickers.
Yeah, puffy.
I'll get the puffy stickers, and they'll have sparkles, and maybe they'll smell of rose water.
Yeah, they should be scratch and sniff. Exactly, they should be.
Yes, they'll just be beautiful stickers.
Yeah.
The best stickers.
That's the path
like
to equality.
The idea.
Puffy, smelly stickers.
The idea, the mere idea that, okay, so you could have used the money you spent on these expensive stickers, right? You could have donated that to prostate cancer, and it's like, and they would have had $10 more, right? As opposed to actually promoting an event that might get people to think more about donating themselves, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're in a situation where we have possibly the best excuse not to care about or donate to men's issues. Sorry, feminists, your ideology, or what a lot of you promote, is the best excuse not to care about men at all.
Yeah.
It's the best excuse. And anything that challenges the best excuse to say, you know what, fuck it. I mean, fuck the homeless guys. Fuck the men who get abused. Fuck the men who get raped. Fuck our vets. Fuck them all. The best, in challenging the best excuse for people to do that. The best excuse for people to continue with their apathy and inertia and not caring. I think that is critical to turning people on to the fact that they should care.
Yeah.
You know, it's...
You know, and they shouldn't, even if you can't bring yourself to care about men, right? Like, to feel that depth of compassion, you know, when you're doing the Walk a Mile in Her Shoes event, and you're raising money so that you can put, you know, you're taking pledges. You're going door to door and taking pledges, and you're taking pledges from people at work, and then you're going to go walk a mile in her shoes, right? In fucking women's high heels as a guy, right? And you did your bit for these poor women, and you feel so much. Even if you can't bring yourself to feel that kind of compassion for men, you should at least be exposed to the idea that leaving men behind isn't good for anyone. It's not good for anyone to ignore men, to abandon men. It does not make for a functional society. It will not make for a good, healthy society that your sisters and your daughters will have to live in 10, 15, 20 years, right? And so even if we can't convince people to care on that visceral level as much about men as they do about women, right? We can at least show them that, you know, ignoring men causes larger problems down the road. And those problems impact everybody, right?
Indeed.
So.
And like I said, we are challenging the attitudes that lead to people not caring about men, as insofar as they can be challenged. We're challenging the narratives that say, well, men are actually responsible for society. Therefore, men are responsible enough. They have the agency, the personal power, the personal oomph, I don't know, get up and go, that they should be able to take care of every single mental health problem that they encounter.
Yeah. Oh,
and if
yeah,
they
no,
don't, they're weak.
That homeless guy, he failed despite having all that privilege. Right?
Exactly.
he didn't fail because he was oppressed, which would be a valid reason to help him. No, he failed despite the fact that he could just as easily have been a Donald Trump as any other guy, right? I mean, because he had all that privilege, right? So
yeah. So we're challenging the notion that men are dealing with mental health issues despite being enormously powerful, enormously potent, enormously capable, enormously agentified, just sheer atlases, like just striding across the earth as the little women shudder in their shadows in terror.
Well,
We're challenging that.
They constructed society entirely on their own and entirely to their liking and entirely to benefit themselves. And so, if they end up homeless, then fuck them, right? So.
Yeah, fuck them. That is the best excuse not to help anyone, is to call them privileged.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ever want to create a society where we do help men to the same degree that we help women, then we have to challenge the notion that men are privileged, and we have to also challenge the notion that the agency of society stops with men. And I'm not going to say that that particular one started with feminism, but I will leave it up to an exercise of the viewer how much feminism is culpable for the notion that men are privileged and the notion that society and all responsibility and blame for society lies with men. Or a word based on men. We don't call it personarchy.
No, and we don't call it oligarchy, and we don't call it society. We call it patriarchy.
All right.
Let's. So the chat is working. For some reason, it went to belly up for a little while. It's got nothing to do with us. It's YouTube. I'm saying, I'm going to go on a limb here and say it's the CIA African Americans that were involved. They glow in the dark, I'm going to hit play.
Spend a lot of money to hire out the room for those big, very nice posters, very big stickers that's plastered over the women's.
Oh, for fuck's sake, let it go! Jesus Christ! The stickers and probably hiring out the room if it was in Sydney University was free. They just had to apply for it. And the posters and the stickers, this is what they're like.
But they're very big stickers.
And they're very big posters, right?
Allison, posters and stickers are clearly a sign of the bourgeoisie class and the patriarchy. We have to point that out.
Yeah.
And the fact that they aren't going to a freaking university, like 9/10 of the degrees at a university is vanity degrees.
Agreed. Yeah, no, they'll get you a job at Starbucks or with the government. Or, at BuzzFeed.
They're essentially degrees either for someone who wants to land a husband. There, I said it. Or they
You mean the MRS degree? The MRS degree that doesn't exist? The one that becomes part of the woman's trousseau and allows her to target higher status men as potential partners? You mean that degree? Oh, I've never heard of that, and I'm pretty sure that's never been a thing.
Or they have connections. And they're just going to school to shout slogans and smoke pot, and then their dad or their mom or their uncle or aunt or grandparents are going to get them a job somewhere. All right. Let's continue.
And also, they had to pay for the film rights. Now, I see that they wanted to put proceeds towards prostate cancer research. That's a very noble pursuit. I asked them, why did you spend so much on promotion if you wanted to put money towards prostate cancer research?
Because you are promoting the event so that people will buy tickets, and then you take the leftovers from the tickets and you donate it to prostate cancer research. If you don't promote it, nobody buys tickets.
I think her argument is that nobody should see that. Her real argument, because this doesn't make any freaking sense, is simply, no, we shouldn't have to see this movie.
Yeah.
All of this is just dressing.
Clearly, they're up to something. They did a lot of promotion.
Yeah.
That's suspicious.
Stickers.
They wanted people to see it.
Stickers in bathrooms.
They wanted they
We
wanted
spent
to,
so much, they really went all out. They bought TV ad spots during prime time on all of the major networks in Australia. They advertised on radio. They bought radio ad spots. No, they didn't. They bought stickers and posters.
Yep, stickers and posters. And they're advertising a movie that challenges the attitudes towards not caring about men. Really, really horrible action here. We're going to promote a movie that challenges not caring about the group of people who we are then going to donate to charity for. Wow, moral bankruptcy, total moral bankruptcy. Thank you, random feminist protester. You pointed it out. I could never have figured out the total moral bankruptcy of this entire train of logic without you.
These must have been the best stickers. The best stickers anybody's ever seen.
I was waiting for that.
The greatest stickers.
No better stickers.
Fresh from China. All right, let's hit play.
I talked to a couple of the people around the place who are here to support the film, and they note some interesting statistics, such as that men are more likely to die in battlefronts, and men are more likely to die at workplaces. And I asked.
And wait. And she's going to tell us why we shouldn't have to care. But feminism is caring for men. She's about to. She just said.
No. She's not going to tell us why we don't have to care. She's going to tell us why these problems are all rooted in the oppression of women.
Which is why we don't have to care about them, Karen.
Okay, but why we should care? We should also care even more about women than we all, because they're so oppressed.
Touché.
They weren't allowed to die on the battlefield. You see.
Okay, yeah, but I'm just. This is just my prediction. So she said, okay, men experience these negative things. Now I'm going to explain to you, this assembled crowd of feminists, why you do not need to care about these negative things that affect men. But feminism is about caring for men. Just back up a little bit. Let's see this play out, Brian.
Back up a little bit?
Yeah.
10 seconds?
15 seconds.
All right, we'll
15
go here.
That they wanted to put proceeds towards prostate cancer research. That's a very noble pursuit. I asked them, why did you spend so much on promotion if you wanted to put money towards prostate cancer research? I talked to a couple of the people around the place who are here to support the film, and they note some interesting statistics, such as that men are more likely to die in battlefronts, and men are more likely to die at workplaces. And I asked, is feminism the one that's killing these men?
Okay, we were both wrong. She was she's like, oh, some bad thing happened. Feminism didn't do that. No, and the thing is that
the important thing is that we don't blame feminism.
Yeah, feminism maybe didn't do that, but feminism has done a lot of other things, and feminism is the primary thing standing in the way of any discussion of the issues. So, as we can see from this video right here.
Well, okay, wait. Let's look at the logic, though. I'm just going to step through it. There are these negative things happening to men. Feminism isn't responsible for them. You're just responsible for standing in the hall like a human plug, preventing people to talking and looking at the issues.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think you just contradict yourself there.
No, it's like,
woman.
Yeah, she's a human plug. But that's actually never mind. But
never mind. I got you, Karen.
Ew. But essentially, I just, this really points, I think that this really reveals the mindset of feminists, is that, and most people who are engaged in the identity politics mindset, is that if blacks are having problem, whites are to blame. If women are having problems, men are to blame, right? And it really, so if we say that men are having problems, right, their first instinct is to say feminism is not to blame, because that's the way they think, right, is when they say women are having problems, men are to blame, right? Or patriarchy is to blame. And so when we say men are having problems, they automatically assume that we are blaming feminism or we are blaming women, right? When in reality, we recognize feminism as culpable for the things that it does, right? For the specific things that it does. And we recognize women as culpable for the specific things that they do and that they have essentially gone along with and tolerated in regards to these problems. And their responsibility, the responsibility that they have always had in terms of contributing to the social norms that have, men did not create society with no input from women. Okay? Like this, you can't have a society where men learn their earliest values, right? Their earliest experience of love, their earliest experiences of reciprocal altruism and kinship and nurturance and safety and all of those things that we learn in the first 5 years of life that put us on the right path or the wrong path, right? When we learn them at the knee and breast of our mothers and surrounded by our sisters, right? And then you say, oh, women didn't do any of it. Women had nothing to do with any of it. Women were powerless. They didn't contribute anything to the social norms and the political norms and all of these other things. Women didn't do nothing, right? No. Men and women constructed society together, largely unconsciously, largely in an organic way, right? And you can't just absolve women of responsibility for their part in things, and you can't absolve feminism of responsibility for the things that they've done to prevent these issues from being addressed. And so, but she just automatically, but we blame men too. It's nobody's fault, it's everybody's fault, right?
Yeah,
but she's automatically
fault. Everybody's to blame, everybody has responsibility to take, let's move on.
Yeah, everybody all of these feminists are like, you're blaming feminists, you're blaming women, as if we are absolving men of responsibility for their part in things, as if we do not acknowledge the fact that men sometimes interact with each other in unhealthy ways, right? As if, all of these...
Yeah, it's
their mindset. They have an us against them, men versus women mindset. And so if you are pro-man, you are anti-woman, and there is no two ways around that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just want to point this out. You're saying that we blame feminists as you're blocking us being able to talk about and watch a video on men's issues. You know what? If there was ever a point in time where we were trying in fact, we try not to blame you. You just make it so fucking hard. Like, you're sitting right there preventing anyone talking about these issues that you even acknowledge are bad. You're sitting in that hallway preventing people from going to a movie about those issues. And you're saying, they blame us, they blame feminists. Yeah, well, how can we not? You're the ones blocking us. Mm-hmm. You're the ones protesting us. Can you didn't acknowledge reality here?
You didn't create the problems, honey. You're just the people who are standing in the way of doing anything about them.
Yeah. And it's like, dude, knowledge.
Awareness. Yeah, no, it's...
Allison, did you say dude? That's a gender term.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, we probably should not have dudette. We probably shouldn't have assumed her gender just from her her gender presentation and the fact that she's a women's officer. We probably should not have assumed she was a woman.
Okay. I just want to find out if she somehow twists this to make this about patriarchy. I haven't watched this, so I don't know.
All right, shall we continue?
Yes.
Okay. So, did you hear that? Patriarchy!
Yeah.
Perhaps a military capitalist industrial complex has been sending men to wars that they shouldn't be fighting in the first place.
Yeah, but that's been the case since before capitalism, before the military industrial thing, the complex or whatever, right? That men have been being sent to war since, we were hunter-gatherers.
Mm-hmm.
So, you can't blame the capitalist military-industrial complex for that aspect of gender roles.
It's a long-standing tradition that if men need to die to do or if somebody needs to die, if we need to send some flesh golems out, they will have penises.
Yeah,
to die. It's a long-standing tradition. It was before before
civilization, before currency.
Well,
right?
It might not has been as much before civilization, but definitely
No.
before
It was actually more before civilization. Hunter-gatherer tribes would have been more, would have had an even stronger division of labor in terms of making sure that it was men who were sent out to do those things, right?
Okay,
because the loss of women would have been, when you're talking about groups of between 200 and 1,000 individuals, right? The loss of women would have been much more devastating. So you would not needlessly throw them away.
Yeah, but you're still talking about a civilization, though. Hunter-gatherers, we had several steps before that. But let's continue. Okay. It is a civilization.
Perhaps the fact that predominantly white, bourgeois women have been unable to attain the right of work. Now, I said white, bourgeois women.
What?
Women of color.
Unable to attain the right of work?
White bourgeois women were never unable to attain the right of work. They just had a harder time getting into professions that were of their status, of their social status, right? So it wasn't easy as a woman to study medicine. It wasn't at one time, right? Like 1800s, right? It really wasn't, because
and yet there was women.
There were women doctors, right? But it wasn't easy. They didn't have to obtain the right. They had to obtain a friendlier environment, a more welcoming environment, one that was going to accept them. And
incidentally, a lot of the non-welcomingness of that environment was not necessarily due to the men. It was due to the men's wives.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, there were a lot of women who were against the Equal Pay Act because they wanted their husbands' salaries, higher salaries protected, right? They believed that they were getting higher salaries
and they didn't
than women were.
They didn't want their husbands working with women.
Yeah, but and then on top of that, I think was it Goodfella or was it Skeptor? I forget who it was. He found a whole bunch of really old, from the 1950s and 60s, equal pay interviews with citizens about the equal pay legislation in the UK. And so these are all black and white, right? And they're interviewing these people on the street, what do you think of an equal pay law? And every single one of them, men and women, said, oh, we're for it, right? Because if you can't pay women less, you're more likely to hire a man, and men are the ones who need the jobs.
Yeah, well, why didn't they address the fact that you could discriminate completely against bachelors back then and just say, married man earns more than a woman, but a bachelor earns nothing because he doesn't get a job.
Yeah,
period.
Bachelors need not apply, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, was there at any point that people say, how are these bachelor men going to eat? Yeah. Oh, no, there's a ditch they can die in. Who cares? It's all sorts itself out.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
And working class women have had to fight for their survival through paid and unpaid
There's stuff going on up there too.
For millennia.
What it is.
They've had to fight for their survival?
Well, okay, they haven't had to fight. They've had to work for it.
Yeah,
right?
And working class men didn't have to fight in the same way for their survival?
I know.
I mean, there are two classes of men here. There are married men and there are bachelor men. The time that you're saying that these working class women had to struggle to survive, bachelor men often were discriminated against completely. Like, I guess that's the time period that you're talking about. So
I just love the sort of the typical thing, and it's exemplified by this sort of historical meme of the highwayman holding up this lone male traveler at night on a dark road, and the man begs him, don't shoot, I have a wife and family.
Oh,
In other words, if I die, a woman and children will suffer. So please let me live.
okay.
I wonder what bachelors ever said.
We got to fight for our right to party.
I guess.
The people inside this room, from the Libertarian Society, from Grossock, from the Conservatives, the Liberals!
Fuck the libs! Fuck the libs!
Oh yeah. Now that classical liberals took the term liberal back, now they're all fuck the libs, and Antifa's spray painting liberals get a bullet too, and yeah. So they're like fuck liberals because classical liberals took the moniker of liberal back over the last probably 4 years, and it's no longer associated strictly with the left. It's associated with the sort of the quadrant theory of politics, rather than the left right
Authoritarian, libertarian
versus libertarian.
Yeah.
If they're taking back, if they're saying now they're pushing liberals out, anybody who has any kind of label, I'm calling it now, socialist, leftist, communist, any other label but feminist.
Rusky.
If you have any other label but feminist, you
Reds.
are on notice.
Yeah,
'Cause they will
fucking
push
pinko commie.
Yeah.
You're gonna be out soon, too.
yours is a pro-munism or pro-socialist. You're a
bro-munism.
pro-socialist. That's where they're gonna go. They're gonna push out everything but feminism.
Dr.
Eventually.
Rantzerker says Australians call their conservatives liberals. They told me this 100 times.
Oh no, well that's the parties, right? That's like the British Columbia Liberal Party is actually more conservative than.
Yeah, it says Liberal Party in Australia is the Conservative Party. However, there is. That doesn't really change what we're saying. I mean, that might change what's being said in this video, but the fact is there are the radical communists in the left that are pushing the liberals away because of the classical liberal stuff, because the liberals are too moderate and too about these crazy ideas like freedom of speech and freedom of assembly and freedom to choose things.
Well, and what I mean, like, really, what is conservatism, right? Conservatism is. And like Canada's party, I don't know if they're still called the PC party, the Progressive Conservative Party, but I mean, they were for change, but cautious change, right? We're not going to rush into making sweeping changes to society. And that included, with Stephen Harper, refusing to open the parliamentary floor to debate about abortion and because right now Canada's abortion, all of the abortion rights in Canada are based on medical knowledge from, about 100 years ago, when, you didn't, a 24-week fetus was absolutely not viable, right? And so you can have an abortion in Canada if you're willing to fly to Ontario. You can have an abortion in Canada all the way up to the day before, you can be in labor and have an abortion, right, at full term. And so somebody brought a private member's bill to open up a debate about the new knowledge that we have in terms of fetal viability and all of this other stuff based on all of the medical advancements and medical knowledge that we've gained over the last 100 years. And Stephen Harper said, no, we're not opening that can of worms, not today. And that was a conservative position.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think that a lot of people that are sort of figuring out, where their values are in terms of political labels, there are plenty of people that are trying to conserve the liberal principles that we have worked so hard to, maintain all this time, like these speech freedoms, like the human rights stuff, and they're trying to conserve that. So what do you even call that? I mean, I think that is a form of conservatism as well as liberalism. I don't think those things are mutually exclusive, is my point. So.
Well, yeah, no, conservative and liberal are, I mean, they label different things.
Yeah.
Liberalism is about, as much liberty as possible. And
openness.
But conservatism can be about preserving all of those liberties.
Yes, exactly. It's like,
right?
They score high in conscientiousness.
Okay, stop talking like Kermit the Frog.
Okay, let's go.
Sort yourself out.
So interested in combating gender inequality. Why have they never reached out to the Women's Collective?
Why did they never reach out to you people?
Why do they have to?
Number one, why should they have to? Number two, why would they when this is how you behave?
I mean, what would you have done if they reached out to you and said, "Hey, we want to"?
Would you have co-hosted? Would you have co-hosted with them?
Would you have bought some expensive stickers?
Yeah. Would you have agreed to sit on a panel discussion during a question and answer period afterwards?
Yeah, and they probably would have said, "Hey, come aboard, come."
Oh
talk
no,
to us."
they absolutely would have.
But no. They didn't contact you. Maybe they didn't know that you existed, or that they thought that you wouldn't find this relevant to your interests unless you wanted to protest it. But you're giving a really good example why they probably avoided you.
Yeah. No, and it's like, and again, to that point, like where they would have invited feminists, that's what happened in Norwich, right? Feminists were invited to sit on a panel discussion after the screening. That is what they're trying to set up in Edmonton in, I believe, July, right, is a panel of 3 MRAs and 3 feminists. I will be one of the MRAs. And they're really having a hard time finding feminists who would be willing to actually sit on that panel. So.
Shall we?
Yes.
Allison, are you trying to talk? Because we can't hear you if you are. You might have to do some fidgeting with your mic or leave the room and come back.
No, I'm here.
Okay, you're there. All right.
No, I'm good. Let's do it.
Hitting play.
If this was such a feminist film, if this film was such a great film, why didn't you ask the Women's Collective to co-host?
Okay, but it's not a feminist film. It's a film made by a feminist.
And
but
also, why should they have to?
Why? And
well, you didn't invite us to your party. That's why we're crashing it and making you can't have it. That is such a childish. If you had learned about this and this was the real reason you were upset, you know what? Contact the people involved and putting together the film and say, hey, how can we help? Do you want to have us on your panel? Do you want us to put up some stickers or some posters? And maybe if you have any posters left you haven't printed, maybe we could have a name on your poster. You don't do this. We weren't invited to this event, so therefore they can't have it. What the fuck is that?
Maybe the fact that one woman is holding a sign that says, "I'm here to bathe in male tears," outside of the
men's
red pill.
rights activist tears.
Yeah, MRA's tears. Maybe that kind of gives a clue as to why you may not be suited to watch the film.
Or no, I think they should all watch the film.
Absolutely,
I think they should be I think they should be strapped down like fucking
Clockwork Orange.
Like Clockwork Orange, and being forced to fucking watch it over and over with a dubstep or something playing in the background. But not Centipede, because that's just all. Well, no, Centipede would be awesome.
I think that's
perfect. But instead of lovely Ludwig van, but they just there is no cooperating with these people. There's no
individuals of a certain merit.
Well, I mean, if going back to the Warren Farrell protests, right? Back in what was it, November of 2014, or 2012? Was it 2012? Yeah. That when they asked the one guy, why are you here? And he said his two friends committed suicide. And then he comes and he asks one of these feminists, right? Well, I don't understand why he has to do it here. There are plenty of spaces within feminism to discuss mental health issues and suicide issues, And it's like, yeah, maybe they don't want to use your religion to examine their problems, right? Like it's essentially like, well, why would you want to like have an atheist group to discuss, social problems outside of the context of God and the Bible?
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of places within the church to discuss your issues. Well, maybe I don't want to take a Christian approach to it, fucker.
Maybe I don't want to take an approach in which I have to assume when I'm in a position where I am dealing with feelings of vulnerability and not, I don't want to say weakness, but like not being able to help, not being able to be effective as an agent. I don't want to do it in the context of a religion that insists that I'm an agent, like that I am a super agent. I mean, that's the most. It's like the whole concept of feminism is that men are always in charge.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a guy who's dealing with feelings of helplessness,
and being unmoored, and sort of drifting and just with nowhere solid to put your feet.
It doesn't help to go to a place where people are going to insist that that's not the case.
Or where they're going to insist that before you stand up and speak, all of the women and minorities should speak first, right? And then when you get up to speak, you have to give your confessional first. Just want to say that, I'm white and I'm male and I'm straight and I'm cis, and therefore I acknowledge my privilege.
Yeah. Therefore, I acknowledge my ultimate agency and power. Now can we talk about how I feel utterly helpless and overlooked?
Yeah, no, it's not gonna fucking work, right? So.
It's like telling an atheist, can't you find a place in the church for your atheism?
Yeah.
Not really.
No,
doesn't work like that. It's actually worse.
And that's not to say that the church doesn't do good things and give people, help.
Which is why it isn't an exact analysis or an analogy.
But it's because I don't think that the church, that the Christian church hates men and would make them stand up and and admit that, and if they do make them stand up to give their testimonial and admit that they're a sinner, they make women do the same thing, right? Whereas with this feminism thing, it's men are always dead last, and you have to acknowledge your privilege before you're allowed to speak, and all of this other crap, right? And and feminists who are listening, don't tell me that that's not how things are done, because that's exactly how things were done during the question and answer period at that Janice Fiamengo talk.
Okay, and don't tell us that we're blaming you for not getting the red pill screening showed when you are the ones standing in the hallway not allowing this stuff to be talked about. You are there. You are right there doing exactly what you say you're not doing. That's
and honestly,
gaslighting.
And and honestly, if they had reached out to help you and you had decided to, reached out to you to co-host, and you had decided to do that, don't even pretend that you wouldn't have tried to hijack the entire thing. You would not have had that attitude. Well, there's plenty of spaces to discuss suicide and mental health issues within feminism.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. So this entire event is now going to have a feminist spin on it.
And we're not going to watch the movie. Sorry.
Yeah.
You don't need to. I'm right here. You can just ask me.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's so. And it actually really does boggle my mind. Why can't men find spaces to talk about their sense of helplessness and being overlooked in the context of an ideology that believes that they are privileged and always heard?
They're favored.
Privileged, favored, and always heard.
And preferred, yep.
And preferred. Okay.
Shall we? Oh.
It's the hour. It's the hour of glower. So, this is how it works, guys. You guys give us a Snapchat, and we will keep talking.
Super chat.
Whatever
Super
the
chat.
fuck it's called.
Nobody's trying to get dick pics here. We want
No.
them Donkey Kong coins, though. And we want that sex.
Yes, we do. And everything else, if you're interested, we will do the rest of this as far as we get through in about however long it takes. No, actually, it's not going to go for however long it takes. It's going to go for another hour after the show is over, in our after show. And if you're interested in becoming a patron, it's www.patreon.com/honeybadgerradio. And I guess we're going right to our after show since there are no super chats.
Give them, because there's like a lag of like 30 or 40 seconds from when you said that.
I want it over with.
All right, well, look, everybody's gonna send us dick pics now because you said Snapchat.
No, we don't.
It's too late. That's what Snapchat is for.
Just send them for me.
It was made for dick pics.
Just send them directly to me.
And for those of you ladies who happen to have like enlarged clitorises, you can also send those. That's fine, but they have to be enlarged and engorged. Thomas Teen sent us $10.
It says
You're going
to hell.
Oh yeah, no, we're totally going to hell for this.
And we've been going to hell for a while now, though.
Yeah, no, but that's where all the fun people are, and all the booze.
Oh, and Pause says, "Don't pay them. This is reverse psychology. I was paid to shell."
And the entire thing too of hell, it's just one big smoking section. Perfect for me.
God. All right. Okay. I'm just going to point something out. If YouTube is going to be viable as a long-term platform, we have to promote the direct to creators payment system over the ads, which advertising companies are obviously, they control that, and they will do what they wish with it. Is all I can say.
We should probably get on it now that we're getting super chat funds. So.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Some
Back to the mines.
Let's mine some more keks.
Yes. Is this a kerfuffle?
Oh, wait. Go back to what was said just before that chick started shouting derailment, or do you have
I think some guy said something. I don't know. Let me see if is there a
almost
way
like
for me to turn on? No, there isn't. All right, let me.
It's almost like he's being drowned out by all of these feminists.
Yeah.
That's Bettina right there behind her to the left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Feminist film. If this film was such a great film, why didn't you ask the women's
It's a tremendous film.
to
It's a great
co-host?
film.
Oh, I think I know what she said.
What did she say?
What did she say?
Would you have shown it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
No, and that's a derailment. Yeah, it's speaking to the exact point, right? But it's a derailment.
What does this start to feel like? You're just talking to a bunch of toddlers.
Oh God, I am.
Oh my God!
It's
I
Invasion
didn't
of the
have
Body
my
Snatchers.
I don't have my hand in the cookie jar.
I don't like you.
Your hand is in the cookie. You can't. Like, your wrist is sticking out from underneath the cookie jar lid.
You got melted chocolate all over your fingers and your face. Just fucking admit it.
Yeah, just the time for lies is over. The time for truth is now.
And you can't say a question that directly addresses what she just said. Why didn't you reach out to us to co-host? And she says, would you have shown it? And that's a derailment?
Yep. Derailment! Derailment! Autistic screeching.
Really?
What's a great thing about questions such as, would you co-host it, is I would like to ask if perhaps you're aware of the work the Women's Collective has been doing for the past decade on campus.
I like how they call it the Women's Collective. Like this, just
Yeah.
that section of the campus is a giant board cube.
Yeah. Well, I mean, on top of it, I think Bettina is starkly aware of the work that gets done within women's collectives on campus in Australia.
Okay, somebody sent us a message. Get the show on the road by Sev Brav. And then there was another person. Thank you, Jacob Lintz, for sending us $5, and also Steve Brav for telling me to get the show on the road, which he's probably pretty pissed now that I'm just wittering here talking about his comment.
Okay, let's hit the button.
Yeah.
All right.
The Women's Collective is currently in a battle against the university to see sexual violence combated on campus. We have been advocating for years to see survivors who are studying supported so they can complete their degrees in safety.
What do you mean by supported? So
Oh,
they can
what she
complete their-
means? What she means is, okay, that when somebody makes a complaint that they were sexually assaulted, they can defer their exams, they can drop out of a course that they're failing, they can, even though it's past the deadline, they can stop taking the course and pick it up halfway through, in another semester, right? That there should be all of these modifications and allowances for people who are doing poorly in school if they have been sexually assaulted, if they have made a claim of being sexually assaulted. So essentially what they're fighting for is to provide a set of incentives that would cause women in particular who are failing their classes or not doing well to make a claim, even a vague claim that can't be substantiated in any way and wouldn't harm a particular man. If they make a claim of sexual assault, they can get all of these concessions without having to prove anything.
Okay, so what they're doing is they're trying to make it even more difficult for men to get an education. Jesus Christ. Okay, guys, there is no Snapchat up.
Super chat.
Super chat.
Chat.
Okay.
Don't send dick pics.
All right, so shall we call it a day?
I think so, yeah. I'm going to have to, I don't even know what I'm going to make for dinner, so we better get the after, or the
Yep.
the
All
other
right,
things
guys.
going.
I'll say goodnight to you all.
Good night.